Hey everyone, Matt here from Digital.Flash.Fire, and this is the long-awaited follow-up to the Pain Flare video going over the entirety of the new Summoner rotation. We'll talk about basic rotation and variations, and we'll talk about the individual skills, and hopefully this will go smoothly and quickly, because I know you've all got shit to do in-game now that you're level 60. I know I do. I want to point out that this is personal experience and preference, and if it doesn't line up exactly with what a spreadsheet managed by a forum dedicated to the mathematical maximum of the inverse of the curve is, I don't care. This is how I play, and it's been hugely successful for me, and I want to share that joy with you. So, first things first. To be completely honest, the priority hasn't changed very much, and for all the new awe and glamour of the 50 through 60 skills, your main goal remains the same: put dots on things. The method in which you do this has altered slightly, but the fact remains that a summoner with no dots up is either AFK, his client crashed, or he's a sneaky black mage in disguise. So, Bio 2, Miasma, Bio. Hard cast them at the beginning of the fight because you're going to be getting procs and buffs that amp up your damage, so for now, you just want to get them rolling. Before I go any further, let me clarify something. Summoner, unlike some classes in Final Fantasy, is more fluid in terms of what you should be doing. It depends on what else is going on and what's off cooldown. In the video, I'll show the rotation on AoE trash versus boss single target versus whatever looks at me wrong. And while you'll be able to clearly follow what I'm casting because I'm a button mashing tryhard, you'll notice that it's slightly different each time. Anyways, hard cast your dots up. If you're in an AoE situation, that is if there's more than one thing you need to have dots on, then you'll want to Bane to spread the dots, followed by our first new fancy skill in the rotation, Pain Flare. Again, if you have a priority target that needs to go down first, then Bane to spread the dots, then Fester the single target. On 2 or more enemies, Pain Flare will do more damage overall than Fester, so it's up to you. After that, start working your Garuda and Shadow Flare while waiting for your Aether skills. If you think you'll need dots up for a while and your skills aren't lining up, then feel free to contagion the dots before baning them to keep them rolling longer. Once you hit 3 stacks of Aether Trail attunement, it's time for our second handy skill, Dreadworm Trance. It's a handy little buff that lasts 15 seconds, increases your magic damage by 10%, and drops the mana cost of Ruin 3 to next to nothing. More on Ruin 3 later, but for now, just know that when you hit Dreadworm Trance, this is the time to update your dots, especially if you can stack it with Raging Strikes. Some people hardcast them, then try Disaster at the end before the buffs expire, but since there's so much I like to milk out of my Dreadworm Trance, I tend to use Try Disaster right off the bat to quickly reapply them, or I'll hardcast them and contagion them while spamming Ruin 3 or updating Shadow Flare, using more Aether stacks to do more damage, what have you. The most important point I want to make here is that no matter what, you want to end Dreadworm Trance every single time with Death Flare. I cannot stress enough how much damage Death Flare does, and it's instant cast, so you can use it right before the stack drops. I key in on this when Dreadworm Trance has about 4 seconds remaining. I can comfortably cast one more spell, and then I start spamming Death Flare for as soon as that ends. This, my digi-friends, is the long and short of being a summoner level 60, and if you get comfortable with juggling Dreadworm Trance, using Try Disaster to quickly reapply dots, or apply them to a priority ad, so you can nuke it from orbit with Fester, which really helps on DPS checks and vulnerability phases, and ending every single trance with Death Flare at the last possible moment, you'll soon be the envy of all your friends, and they'll want you to come with them for everything. Oh, one last thing. Ruin 3. Ruin 3 does more damage than regular old Ruin. I'll note that there's no reason you should be casting Ruin 2. I don't care about maxing GCD management, this isn't vanilla WoW, but costs a lot more mana. I myself was hesitant to use Ruin 3 outside of Trance because I saw my mana going down and got nervous. But here's the thing. Every fresh set of Aether Flow gives you a chunk of mana back, and out of combat mana regeneration almost always fills your bar before the next fight, so here's what I want you to do. I want you to start using Ruin 3 outside of Trance. Don't spam it till you're empty, just a few times here and there before going back to Ruin. Try and keep your mana pool at a little under half because I promise you, Aether Flow will keep you slinging spells and your overall DPS will go up, and that a very happy summoner makes. Use it when you're burning trash mobs or when a boss hits 20%. Think of it like a soft execute skill that you can use whenever you want. I hope I've covered everything that's worth covering here. If you have any more questions or comments or disagreements, please share them with me in the comment section below, and thank you for watching. If you want to catch up with me on Adamantoise and be my friend, I'd like that, and I'll leave the info in the section below. Thanks again. Alright, I'm done with ya.